There's no right or wrong. It's just a casual conversation.
Being a female in the industry on the whole, you have to deal with...
Let's get real with the people. Let's talk about sex.
I was feeling a little shy to say the word.
No, let's talk about sex.
All right.
Whatever we instill in them today is what the world will see tomorrow.
We have children calling everybody uncle. What is that? An auntie.
Welcome to another edition of A Woman's Worth with yours truly, Wendy. Well, we have an amazing episode for you all today. So I need you to do something for me. Grab your coffee, your tea, your water, your juice, your wine, whatever you want to grab. Because this is going to be an interesting one. We're breaking record today because I have in my company Testosterone, a male perspective. You know, we've been talking over the past few weeks and months about different issues we're facing with our men. Some of you all say they don't communicate, they're too emotional, some not emotional at all. And we've been given our female perspective on what a man thinks and does. We're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. He is an amazing friend of mine. Listen to me, ladies, just get yourself together because you're not going to move, especially my sisters, you're all not moving. So we'll be right back. My name is Wendy H. Lewis. I am the Chair, District Manager, and Regional President of Caribbean Women, Honors and Empowerment, the Trinidad and Tobago chapter, fondly called CHAWI. CHAWI has 13 chapters in Africa, 11 in the United States, Trinidad and Tobago being number 9. Who are we and what do we do? We are mandated to ensure that our sisters, our women, our nieces, our daughters are well taken care of in the avoidance of abuse, gender-based violence, all the different types of abuse from financial abuse, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical. We are mandated to ensure their safety, mentally, emotionally, and physically. How do we do this? We have an NGO where we look after their needs. We have an NGO where we answer the call. We get calls 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Women need our help. We literally go into the root of the matter. We enter the forested areas to bring these women out. And we cannot do any of this alone. We need you. We need your volunteerism. We need your expertise. We are calling for people to join Caribbean Women, Honors and Empowerment to aid in the fight against abuse against our sisters and our women. Get in touch with us right now. The email address is at the bottom of your screen. The telephone number is there. Our Facebook page is CWHETNT. If you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. Join CHAWI now.
CHAWI is hosting its annual awards, dinner, and gala event on Saturday, the 11th November at the prestigious Achievers Banqueting Hall in San Fernando. Grab your tickets from our South Ticket outlet, Joel's Beauty Salon, 58 Independence Avenue, San Fernando, or our North outlet, Monarchs on the Avenue, 10 Ariapita Avenue, Port of Spain. Live entertainment, giveaways, and much, much more.
We are back. I made you all a promise, so I hope you all are ready for another edition of A Woman's Worth with my very good friend, none other than Mark Anthony. Mark.
I don't know if I'm looking too relaxed on your couch because the couch feels really good.
And it's supposed to. This is just really casual. I'm so blessed and honored to have you join me for this interesting dialogue.
Well, I'm hearing how you stressed on the interesting, you know, but I'm prepared.
You're
and
prepared.
I hope that I can carry the discussion with you also.
Of course. I you know, they say you don't back a dead horse.
Well,
yeah, I ain't backing a dead horse. Mark, we have so many issues.
That's good.
We have so many issues surrounding a woman's worth. And one of the issues that a lot of women are complaining about, I want to use the word complain, is that their other half, their men, their husbands, their boyfriends, not communicating effectively.
Right.
I have my view, but do you think us women don't communicate effectively?
I think there are different types of relationships. There's so many different types of relationships, and in terms of generalizing and putting it under one roof, it's quite difficult. Because if I were to do that, then there would be a number of persons who would disagree, and there would be some who would also agree.
Yeah.
But to say that women are not effective communicators, I would have to disagree with that.
Right.
I think that sometimes women communicate maybe too efficiently, and some men may be a little bit taken aback, because there are some persons who may not be great communicators. They may not be good at expressing exactly how they feel and what is really going on in their heart and in their minds.
Right.
So when you have a partner who is really good at communicating and expressing, some men would, rather than match that communication skill, they would go into a shell, because they sometimes feel a little bit overwhelmed.
Not intimidated?
Maybe to a point, if the person who is trying to communicate or trying to get through to the other individual, which is the male in this, based on the level that they're going at, if it's coming across a little bit aggressive, then the man may pull back, or he may match that aggression because of his ego.
Right.
Right? So it's based on the level that you're met with. So a woman comes at you with a level of aggression. Sometimes he may feel a little bit embarrassed, and he may not be able to add to the conversation. He may not be able to add something that is of a level of substance.
Okay.
And she may be getting frustrated with him because she's trying to get her point across.
Right.
And feeling that she's not being heard, not being, her point is not being felt by him.
Okay.
And she's not getting the type of reaction that she's looking for. He may become frustrated because he feels that the way that this is being put across to him is in a condescending manner.
Okay.
Right? So men are really driven a lot by egos, and we are proud creatures, but we are quite simple creatures at the same time.
Okay.
Quite simple.
So ladies, you have to watch your tone. So we're taking points, you have to watch your tone. But where do you think the root of that stems from? Do you think we, and when I say we, both male and female, we are not asking the right questions on the dating table? Because a lot of times you get involved with someone, and then 2 months down the road, you're like, well, I didn't know he was like that, or I didn't know she was like that, I didn't see that side. Do you think we rush in it, and we're not taking our time on the dating table and asking the right questions?
Well, dating is like an interview. You look, some people don't look. Some people just lime into the relationship. They just, we lime in.
Right.
And we lime, and a couple months pass, and a couple years pass, and you realize, hey,
We in this thing?
we in this thing.
Yeah.
We doing big people things, and we talking different conversations, and all of a sudden you have a couple children along the way.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you realize, oh, wait now, you know, that real thing about you I don't like. That real thing about you I never really came across. I never paid attention to. But it was easy because sometimes the honeymoon phase goes on for a long time. It could go on for an extended period. You're infatuated by the person. But life sometimes catches up with us.
Agreed.
And when changes, you know, you met this young lady, she was all sexy and everything. You might have been mesmerized by what you saw at that time.
Yes.
But over time, 3 kids later, 4 kids later, 1 child later, and then all of a sudden you find that what attracted you in the very beginning is no longer there. So then sometimes you have the problem that he becomes so comfortable in the relationship that he starts looking elsewhere. So, but I think sometimes, and I don't want to really upset anyone by saying things like this, because but there are so many different types of relationships, Wendy. It is based on your relationship. If you were in the relationship because maybe that is what drew you in, and that is all you saw, that is all the relationship will ever be.
Do you think, and I have to say this guardedly, that some men are short-sighted, meaning in the beginning, as you just described, they're looking for the sexy, the shape, the this, the that, the other. And then, as you rightfully said, when they get in, they realize, but this is not really wife material. Right. But then you graduated into this thing. You grew up into this thing. Do you then switch and decide, this doesn't suit me anymore, I need to look elsewhere? Or do you then say, you know what, we have an amazing family, I have to accept responsibility because I did not do my homework before I got into this. Let's have a conversation, let's have a discussion how we could compromise and see if we could mesh this thing and have some peace and harmony. Too many people too quick to run to the divorce court and break up. We are like a microwave generation. So I think some settling should take place, some more dialogue. But one of the things I want to ask you is, back in the day, because we've known each other for decades, back then, what would have attracted you to a woman is not what would attract you now. And during that phase of maturity, I want to call it rather, what is your headspace like?
When you look at a man who would maybe evolve from a young boy into manhood, there are things that may attract you at the very beginning when you're in your teens. You might be looking at a pretty face. Very little conversation. You may look at a girl, I have to say a girl at that point, who may have likes like yourself.
Right.
There is commonality there, and as far as it is, we lime in. We lime in, and this relationship may evolve. Some people stay together. And
True.
They may be soulmates, and you see that they spend 50 years together, but that is not something that comes along every day. True. You may see people and you say, you ask them, what is the secret?
Yes.
And they may tell you, well, try not to go to bed angry and stuff like that. But we are such difficult creatures to understand and to fully understand. Because
unique.
Well, maybe unique is a good word to use too. Because you may like something today and you may not like it tomorrow. You might like someone today and you may not like them tomorrow. And it happens because you see people are together today and they break up tomorrow. But society has changed so much over the years, Wendy, and there are so many influences out there.
Correct.
And when you look at the age now of social media, where people put all their business on social media, everything is blasted on social media.
You all need to stop doing that.
You and your boyfriend fall out, it's on social media. Your pictures of your children, intimate pictures of your partner on social media. And these are things that you can never really get back. No. So life before might have been a little bit much simpler because you had Malcolm around the corner who used to give you updates.
Yes.
You always had a friend who always have I want to tell you.
Yes.
You always have somebody who has the bus of news.
Yes.
News traveled slower at that point in time. So if somebody was up to something, it might have taken a little while, but eventually it would get around.
Gotcha.
Right? So in our circles, we knew this one, that one, this one, that one, and they shoot straight through. And then eventually things came to light. Now in the age of social media, everybody posting, and a post of this one and post of that one. And some people may see the good in it, but there's also the bad in it when there is overexposure and abuse in everything that you do. And I think a lot of people these days are abusing social media rather than using social media to their benefit. So relationships now, I think it's quite difficult in entering into a relationship right now, especially when you look at some people. You see young people or people going out to enjoy themselves, but before they have a meal, they take pictures of the meal and it's on social media. Now, if your partner is not into this social media thing, it doesn't mean that they're odd, they're a square peg, they're not into that, they're boring. You're labeled with all sorts of different, you get so many different tags to you.
Yeah.
And people are under so much pressure. You're in a party, you're having a good time, somebody pulls out their phone, live.
No permission,
No permission, no permission. You're dancing with a lady she feels that she wants to expose to the world, boom, it's on there, and you have no choice in it. If you say something, it's a problem. You're hiding, you're up to tricks. And coming back to men, sometimes we are painted with a broad brush, maybe sometimes based on the mistakes of the ones who went before. So there's always a great generalization. You might meet a young lady and you're starting to get in good with her, and then all of a sudden she tells you, you know, my ex-boyfriend used to do the same thing too. Right? So
That
you
comparison.
Yeah. So you have to you are constantly graded, evaluated, sometimes chastised, because if there is a level of similarity or some sort of trait that brings her back to that point where it might have been a difficult part of her life, you have a lot of work to do.
Which is why the talking on the table is so important.
Communication is always important.
The bit where you mentioned about where you were, you know, comparing, for want of a better phrase, in terms of back then and now, do you think it has anything to do with fatherhood? Because that male influence, a father will say to his son, this is how you treat women. This is what you look for. It's not all about the shape and the this and the that. And a male figure, doesn't necessarily have to be a father, will do that. But if you don't have that male influence in your life, you're pretty much on your own, because I, for one, I've always said it with no apologies. There are things women cannot do. You cannot replace men. Even if you're a single mom, even if you know, your partner may have passed on for whatever reason, there are things a man was wired to do that us women, no matter what we do, we can't get it across that way. And that, for me, is one of the challenges with this breed of Gen Zs into millennials, because we have a lot of single parents.
Correct.
A lot. I'm not saying we do have men that doing their stuff, but we have a lot of single parents. And then women who have been influenced by that same social media have now become so independent that they independent their way all out of everything, to the point where they come to a place where they feel they don't need a man. You can't have children and then don't need a man, especially if you have young boys. That doesn't mean you bring John, Jack, Harry, and whoever every day, every minute. There must be a systematic approach to rearing children. But at the end of the day, we may never get to the root of it, because as you rightfully said, there are different relationships. People meet under different circumstances. But the communication, for me, is what I want to tie in on, because us women, we are emotional creatures. Men speak in a straight line, women speak in circles. I will give you the whole story. When I reach by the supermarket, boy, I saw so-and-so, and then da-da-da-da-da, and I go on a whole story. All you ask is what's for dinner, and I take all of that route before I tell you lamb. That's how we're wired. But men need to also accept and understand that this is how she's wired. So I don't think it comes down to person all the time. I think it's more personalities and compatibility. So if you have to advise your young self, what would you tell your young self?
I think I would say...
Younger self.
Younger self.
Yeah, sorry.
I would say be patient, more patient. Listen.
Listen. Yeah.
Listen. Pay attention. Look for the signs. Look for the signs.
Okay, what signs are you looking for?
You're looking for the signs for the because sometimes there are situations where you might have seen things coming, but you're still walking to it. You might have seen a mistake on the way, and you're still walking.
Could be that a hoping that is not what I think it is?
No, but I don't mean I'm not saying that the person you might be looking at might be a mistake. I'm saying that looking at your own mistakes, you're seeing that
repeated behavior.
Yeah, you're seeing things in front of you. The signs are all there, but you still walk through it. You know, stop yourself. Think about it. Think about your actions before you actually commit to them, and also think about the repercussions of your actions.
True.
Because there's always consequence.
You know, that's very true. Women, and I can say this because sometimes we think we will make the difference. You heard about his history, you know? You know, he hasty, he this, he that. When he get angry, he might fling something.
I could change him.
That's because she didn't do it right. I believe I am going to give him a chance, and with me, it's going to be different. And then with you, it end up worse. But you know what? We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
the countdown to the long-anticipated major event of the year. Caribbean Women Honors and Empowerment, the Trinidad and Tobago chapter fondly called CHAWE, is hosting its annual awards, dinner, and gala event on Saturday, the 11th November at the prestigious Achievers Banquet Hall in San Fernando. So who are the well-deserving ladies who are walking away with our awards this year? Let's hear from one of our honorees who hails from San Fernando.
I am so very happy to be honored by the Caribbean Women Honors and Empowerment, the Trinidad and Tobago chapter this year. I'm being honored for my life's work, but I really call it my life's pleasure. And my advice to all of you young people in Trinidad and Tobago is to grab your education and follow your dreams, come what may. Again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing all of you on November the 11th at the Achievers Banquet.
People are moving, you got it done. People are moving slow. You jump it from morning, go there until evening. You reach competition, all the judges are.
If you're now joining us, it is A Woman's Worth with my amazingly handsome guest, Mark Anthony.
That would be me.
That would be you.
All right.
So as we honor woman's worth, what is a woman's worth to you?
You know, I have learned so much over the years, you know. Over the years, you know, you make so many mistakes. And maybe sometimes in your younger years, the view might have been a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And as you evolve, you learn, because you would have gathered a couple skills along the way that would have taught you about being a better listener.
Right.
The more that you listen, the more you learn.
Agreed.
And I have learned that women are truly unique, beautiful creatures.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that women, we need to cherish our women. We need to better understand our women, because you may be with a person for a very long time, and then all of a sudden you say, I didn't know such and such about you, because she has also evolved over time. So it's not just you. It's not just you. What a woman's worth is sometimes immeasurable. And the contribution that a woman makes, not just to the household, because sometimes we limit to the household, but to your life, in terms of how that person enriches your life.
Add value.
Adds value to your life. Things that you can't put a figure on that.
Yeah.
You know, you really can't put a figure on something like that. And when you have a person who stands up with you, listens to you, encourages you, motivates you when you're feeling down, you know, takes care of you, right? Bears your children, right?
You have a queen.
Shows you respect on a daily basis, all right? And then deals with you. You know what I mean, right? Proper. You know what I mean? But she has been able to cover all the bases in terms of the things that you would want. That's what you're looking for. But a lot of men, and if you want to put 90% on it, or 95, or maybe close to 99, would always draw the complaint that they feel that they're not always being listened to.
Okay.
You know, I have to hear you, but you're not hearing me.
I agree. I mean, I have to be fair. Because women are so expressive and emotional, and sometimes, some of you all out there, you want to have the final say. And you're so busy talking that you didn't pause to listen.
Yeah.
And active listening is really a master key in relationships. And men want to be heard. And I think the only way you can really pull information from a man is if you take time to listen to him.
Yeah.
You have to read men. You have to study men. So then the criteria for relationships should change for a lot of people. That cushy-mushy, you look cute, I look cute, like your shoes, that doesn't work down the road.
As we evolve, we have big people conversations. The conversations should also evolve also, because you don't want to, and this is speaking for the ladies now, you don't want a man, he down the road at you, he's crossing the hill, you know, and he's still talking about running down the road for some little party, small thing on it. He's still on that. He's still talking about that. You don't want that type of person. That's not the person you want. And there's nothing wrong with having fun.
Agreed.
There's nothing wrong with going out and having a good time. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm not condemning that. But you don't want a person, you want a person to match your age too and your level of thinking where you might be in life. So the personalities also have to evolve. We start here and we're going along the road. We're going along the road. We're going along the road and we're plotting our charts. And sometimes one of the questions that women could ask the men are, and we have different ways of communicating. If it's honey, baby, Dudu, whatsoever, or Frank, Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, get their opinion. Involve them.
What do you think? To get him to start feeling comfortable to express himself. So such and such, what do you think? Not just
Be doing this.
And sometimes a person feels backed into a corner that the only thing he has to say is yes, but he might be saying yes under duress. You know, so sometimes in conversations, if the guy comes home or he calls you on the phone because he might be feeling quite excited about something he wants to discuss with you.
Yeah.
And even if you might be having a bad day, sometimes you have to, you know, make a little bit of time just to listen.
Leave that at work.
You know? Just listen. Because at that point, he wants to be heard. You don't want to hear when he says, well, I really wanted somebody to listen to me and you don't listen to me. So yeah, she's listening to me, you know. And he looks to find outlets, you know. And that's where the problem starts to come around.
Because men talk.
Yeah, we talk.
Men talk, men share information.
Sometimes he wants a female perspective, but you are not always available to give it. He wants
you
a
can't be
female
home all day, and when he reach home, you're still in the 90 from this morning.
Oh, gosh.
And he now has to...
Talk, Gil. Go on.
Yeah,
talk,
just
talk.
put his stuff down and then go out and get something to eat. Because you home all day
Talk,
in the 90.
Let me stop you.
I don't want to say rollers because we're in 2023. Head tie on your head. Head tie on your head. You ain't cook nothing. I want to say it raw like that.
Where?
Nothing.
Don't stop her.
Nada. And he now has to go back out.
Belly growling.
Not just the belly growling, you know. He is not bringing food for just him. He have to bring for you too. And you home all day.
All day.
Watching Bold and Beautiful, Netflix, and whatever else they watch
Candy
these
Crush.
days. Playing Candy Crush, Marks, he playing Candy Crush. No, but seriously, women need to step up their game the same way we're asking the same of men. But you know what I wanted to ask? Because you mentioned it just now in terms of growing together. Your personalities growing, maturing, evolving together. What happens when one is growing faster than the other? What are the checkpoints?
That's a problem. That's a problem.
So when do you check? When do you stop and say, well, you know what?
Sometimes you may have situations where you just mentioned where the man might be the one out there, breadwinner, and he comes home and he has certain expectations.
Correct.
Because, I mean, we have rules. Sometimes clearly defined rules, but you're not putting a label on a person. You're not going to say, well, you're not walking out there the door with a sign on your back saying breadwinner.
Exactly.
And the wife at home doesn't have a sign on her that says homemaker. But you understand your role.
Yeah.
Because you are the one at home. So you know that this is your role. So if my role and part of my responsibility is to take care of us, that is why I'm out there. Right? A slave, I'm out there to make sure that I can afford to take care of us. Then in turn, you should know your role. It's not to say you're not a slave, that I have to crack a whip over you. But but you should also accept that this is your role. Maybe is to take care of the home and take care of the family, and you are the cohesive piece inside there
Yeah.
to run things, right? Because he may not be able to, he may not be equipped at that point to take care of everything, think about everything, because at this point he has accepted his role as breadwinner. So he ain't expecting when he comes home, you know, he coming to deal with everything that he might actually say, this is under your portfolio,
Right.
right? Because we share in the responsibilities, but it does not mean that he cannot assist with
Yeah.
the things at home. It doesn't mean that he has to come and step over everything, and his job is he sits in front of the television and he takes over. My job is
If
now
he finds
to
a
rest.
seat, because he
No,
plays haywire.
but we can still assist. But it does not mean in any way that because I am the breadwinner, I cannot assist you, because sometimes you may be able to look and see that what the person has to do on their own in the home is a difficult task also.
Yeah. Because the
So-
roles are interchangeable,
Yeah.
but following a discussion.
Yeah.
So everything we've discussed, the root is communication.
It all comes back to communication.
Somebody needs to say something, and men, you all are very good with keeping things inside.
Well, true.
So you will come home and you will see on the couch watching whatever. You will just go get something to eat for peace sake. And then you'll come home and you'll see it again, and then you say, you know what, just throw on 2 pieces of clothes, let's go grab something to eat. But in your mind, it's like,
You're
you
holding
seriously
it.
didn't
You're
cook.
holding it. You're holding
So
it. You're
then
thinking
you end
about
up by
it.
the barber, because we ain't doing rum shop. Because rum shop is where the conversation crazy, but barber, you see, barber
The
shop.
barber knows everybody's business.
Ooh, barber shop, yeah. So you're at the barber shop now and you're having a chat with your brethren. And you're saying, I have a little problem, yes. I just go home after a long day work at XYZ ABC. But you said it to your brethren. Now you may be saying it to a brethren who does not have the same personality as you.
Yeah.
His relationship at home is completely different. So he went home and shared this information now with wifey, who happened to be friends with Lazy. So Lazy now hearing your views from friend wifey. Tension in the home.
Third-party information. And of course, we must add in a little something too, because you don't want a boring story.
No.
You have to excite the story.
Of
a little
course.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's the conflict in the home starts. And then it comes back to the question, why didn't he feel comfortable enough to approach her in the first place?
Yeah. There's a time and place also. Timing is also important. You come back. You come home. You might be tired. You might be a little bit agitated. You see a situation. And it does not mean because you are the man, it means that you have to assert your dominance at this point. You assert
Right.
yourself, and you take control, and you start raising your voice, you puff up your chest, and everybody starts to get busy. It doesn't necessarily mean that.
Agreed.
You have to sometimes assess situations. And psychology, again, you use a little bit of it, and you might decide that based on my frame of mind that I'm in right now, it may not be the best time to have a discussion.
Okay, understood, yes.
Right? I might not be in the best frame of mind. Things may be said at that point in time that could cause a bigger problem. So let's wait for another day when we may be a little bit lighter, we might be having a good time, making a little joke, and you say, "Oops, what's going on now?" You know, it's really bothering me sometimes when I come back and, you know, I see the place like this, because I'm really working hard, and I find that I am making a contribution, and I know that you have it hard. Sometimes you might be a little frustrated. So I have no problem coming and giving you a little assistance, but it really does bother me a little bit, you know, Gil. I really
And
don't
you
like it.
take all this time to tell me that?
Yeah.
You keep that inside for all these weeks and all these months?
You see, but I am
Sometimes it's a
expressing,
catch-22.
but I am expressing myself at this point.
Yeah, and timing is key.
I am expressing myself. So even if that might be the response you would get, just take a breath. And you say, well, I understand what you're saying. But I felt at the same time, the timing wasn't right. So I felt that now you might be a little cool, and we having a little discussion. So
And I
hear me out.
appreciate that, babe, so I will work on that. We will
I thank
fix
you.
that.
And I have no problem.
Yeah.
I'll come and help. And nothing wrong with that. You help, you pull a cloth. there's nothing about man work and woman work, as you might have gotten that upbringing. That is man work, that is woman work, that is man thing, that is woman thing.
And that's why I mentioned interchangeable.
Yeah, because sometimes your grandparents or your parents even, based on what time frame, they might be telling you stupid things like that. Dotishness, they're telling you.
Yeah.
You doing that? Boy, what kind of man you is, boy?
Yes.
You a soft man or something?
Yes.
You're a girl. And you taking this chain up all the time.
Yep.
And there's some parents, some fathers telling the boys, boy, you gotta go out there, girls, man. You're some kind of,
Yes.
With you. You soft or something.
The father's
You
telling the son, she need roughing up.
You on a man, sir? No, partner. Very respectfully, you could tell Daddy, when you were doing it, I felt it was the wrong thing. But make sure you have some size at that point in time.
You understand?
Make sure you're a big man when you go talk to Daddy,
Yes.
because Daddy might want to put you across the floor. But there's nothing wrong to respectfully give Daddy a little check. You put him in place.
Yeah.
Because you might have been seeing it at that time, you didn't agree with it. So respectfully, you put him in, you give him a little reminder that you disagreed with it at that time, and you still disagree with it today.
Yeah.
Right? Don't just go along and be a yes man.
I respect you, but I disagree.
I disagree with you because I didn't like when you were doing it to mommy. So I didn't like it then, and I still don't like it now.
Wow.
And I will not pass that teaching along at all.
Wow.
So Daddy knows, well, one time, Daddy come to visit. When Daddy come to visit, he had to play by your rules.
Of course.
Daddy in your house, he could get put out, But you don't want to encourage, and I don't want to encourage that type of conversation because it's not about that. Yeah, we do. We have enough things going on that might be negative outside it that we're dealing with on a daily basis, and people are dealing with so many things. On a whole, single-parent families. Families where you have the father present and the mother present, and extended families, people have so much pressure that they're dealing with, daily things that they're dealing with on the road. A man give you a bad drive, you bring that energy home. People who are in the service, the protective service, they have so many stresses that they're dealing with on a daily basis.
Yes.
Right? Things that they have to bottle up inside that they cannot talk about. And what about the men and the women who are in different jobs, things that they see on a daily basis that they cannot talk about, and they have to keep bottling up these things inside. You know who I feel sorry for also? People who are psychologists, therapists. They have to listen to people's problems. You are listening to people's problems every day.
Yeah.
People who are admitting to you so many wrongs and things that you have to, advise persons on. And you have to bring that home with you and swallow it because you can't discuss people's business. No. Because you took an oath not to discuss people's business. You can't disclose these things. And these things do take a toll on you.
Agreed.
It takes a toll on you.
Mental illness is real.
It is
the
so
suicide rate for men has risen. And it's because they buckle up so many things inside and they don't speak out. And then as we rightfully discussed, some women don't give it the space to speak out. Yeah. So men can do better. Women can do better. Yeah. But I also, because this is about the men today, there are some men out there who are doing an amazing, amazing job. True. As fathers and mothers, and kudos to you all. Yeah. Let's take a break.
Caribbean Women Honors and Empowerment, the Trinidad and Tobago chapter, fondly called CHAWE, is hosting its annual awards, dinner, and gala event on Saturday, the 11th November at the prestigious Achievers Banqueting Hall in San Fernando. So who is the next powerhouse who's walking away with our award this year? She hails from our beautiful twin island, Tobago.
I have been serving within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for the past 29 years. And that service that I do it from my heart. and I'm very passionate about it. I'm very happy to be honored by the Caribbean Women Honors and Empowerment Trinidad and Tobago chapter. I am looking forward to seeing everyone.
Grab your tickets from our South Ticket outlet, Joel's Beauty Salon, 58 Independence Avenue, San Fernando, or our North outlet, Monarchs on the Avenue, 10 Ariapita Avenue, Port of Spain. Live entertainment, giveaways, and much, much more.
He say, oh, them Tobago girl, tick, tick, tick like a new sponge ball, them formation hall, easy at all.
Chawe is hosting its annual awards, dinner, and gala event on Saturday, the 11th November at the prestigious Achievers Banqueting Hall in San Fernando. Grab your tickets from our South Ticket outlet, Joel's Beauty Salon, 58 Independence Avenue, San Fernando, or our North outlet, Monarchs on the Avenue, 10 Ariapita Avenue, Port of Spain. Live entertainment, giveaways, and much, much more.
We are back with A Woman's Worth and my special guest, none other than Mark Anthony. Mark, we were having a hot topic going on during the break.
Yeah, Gil.
Share.
Well, sometimes guys, we tend to blame the ladies. And when you look at situations, when you hear the whole story, the lady's not at fault. Sometimes, guys, we need to take responsibility for our actions. And sometimes we're thinking along that dotish line, stupid line, and you're getting dotish advice.
Yeah, the influence, yeah.
Yeah, you might have some friends they're talking stupidness, but you so want to be part of the club with them because they're talking the dotishness like it's almost like rum shop talk. You don't get a lot of intelligent conversations in rum shop, And I'm talking about real long time rum shop.
Yes.
Because I went in a couple of rum shops with my father growing up. And the kind of conversations I used to hear going on inside, I used to wonder, what stupidness these men talking about?
Wow.
But guys, you must have a level of common sense when your partner want to lead you down a bad road. And you know he wrong.
Yeah.
You know he telling you stupidness. You know that he might be the type of person who would disrespect your lady. He might tell her something out of timing. And you still going around him?
You're okay with that?
No, you see now he treating his people. And you still going around him? And you want to emulate something like that? That is dotishness. That is real rubbish.
Agreed.
That is poor. And if you could allow someone, one of your friends, to, feel comfortable enough, because you might be at a low point and you carry a part of your business by him, right? And you have to listen use your own level of sense to say, well, what he's saying here makes no sense.
Exactly.
It might work for him.
Exactly, yeah.
But that ain't working for me. Because at the end of the day, I might be complaining about something, about a particular situation, but it doesn't mean that I'm out of love with the person I'm involved with. True. I just want to vent a little bit. Right. So sometimes just hush him out and listen.
Yeah.
Right? But there are some friends who would stop you.
Yes.
There are some friends who are true friends would stop you and pull you up.
True friends.
Right? But if you have that type of person in your circle, you need to get rid of that person. The person who is always negative and trying to carry down a wrong road, trying to carry out a lime and look for a woman and things. No, that's not the type of person you want in your circle. Agreed. You don't want that. You don't want that. You have to, we grow up. We make mistakes and we grow up. And then there are certain things that might appeal to you at a certain point in your life, and it might not appeal to you after.
Yes.
But, when you're coming to say, a man coming to tell you stupidness, no, you need to tell him no, partner. Agreed. And that is not a person who should be welcome in your home either. No, they have friends that you're meeting outside, casual friends.
Friends for the yard, friends for the gallery, friends for inside.
But you can't reach inside.
Agreed.
Right? And also, fellas, you got to watch it with your female friends too. Because sometimes we have friends from long time, girlfriends, and not platonic relationships.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to draw the lines also.
And some women are a bit disrespectful, I must say.
Yeah, because, I mean, they do so and they know that your wife, your lady, whosoever, might have certain problems, but they're chaining you up to do the wrong thing. And you now, with your daughter self, you're taking the chain up.
Taking chain
You're
up.
taking chain up.
Yes.
Right? And as far as you're concerned, I will deal with that when I reach home.
Yeah.
So when you're outside, you're playing man. Big dog, you're the pit bull. But when you reach home, you're ready to beg and stuff, because what you're looking for is a little scoochie-woochie now at that point. Now, when it comes to that,
Let's talk about sex.
oh, okay, well, let me talk about sex.
Let's
All right,
talk
let me
about sex.
I was feeling a little shy to say the word.
No, let's talk about sex.
All right. How men and women view sex. And I have heard women say that men just view sex as a physical act. They jump on, and it's like running a race, catch up with me, and whoever wins, take the medal.
Right.
But I don't believe that. I think men put a lot of emphasis when it comes to sex. Men see sex as something very important for him and for his partner also. Women have a different perspective on sex, because if she vexed with you, she don't want to see you close to her at all. A man could be vexed with you, but he still want to have sex, normal. He cool. He will continue with being vexed after, right? So during the act
That's
itself,
scary.
he cool as ever. No, but honestly, men are like that, all right? Now, let me don't say all.
So you could pause your vexation.
You take a pause, yeah, you take
have
a pause.
sex,
Yeah.
and then return to vexation.
I vex again after. I still vex.
That is the height of hypocrisy. That's
No, but-
sexual
no,
deceit.
But you see, especially sometimes, some men, I mean, is not every day is Friday or not every day is Sunday.
Agreed.
So sometimes you have to take it when you get it. So if, tonight, you're serious? Okay, we go continue that vex talk a little after. We vex after. But you do say you pull your cover after. We don't, no girl, back in your corner. But as I say, I mean, you know, and the ladies know, women are very emotional, and sometimes they have certain issues. A woman could sometimes move normal with you, but she vex with you, you know.
True.
Right?
I agree.
And she waiting, and she timing you good. And 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, don't watch you stretch out like a goat house, and you're like, and she want to talk now. Now is the best time to talk. And all you want to do is sleep.
No, I
Poor
have
fella.
to admit, sisters,
fella.
he hit the nail on the head.
He wanted to-
We a little bit out of
You
timing.
know, she want to talk now. But you're here, you know. So, babe, you leave whole day
Yes.
to talk now?
Wake up the man out of his sleep. No,
But
that's
then-
unreasonable.
Yeah, but he a little incoherent, but I think it's a plot to it, because women know she checking you now, because you're incoherent now. So now is the best time to talk to you, not when you're fresh. So the brain is a little bit off. So let me hear the same story again. The same story, the way you told me earlier on.
Yeah, but then by the next day you'll be saying, but you told me as me? I was sleeping, girl.
Yeah, sleeping. But I mean, we really need to get the ducks in a row. And if you want to have a really good and healthy relationship, it comes back to how you started with communication.
Yeah.
We have to really try. Some people are good at communicating, some people are not so good at communicating, but we have to meet ourselves. If some people talk about it on a particular level, I've heard women say, he's nice, you know, but he's not on my level, you know? He's not on the same level with me. And I heard a friend say that just this morning. Nice
Wow.
guy, but he's not on my level. And I think the level means it's either on the level of intellect, or the level of social status, the level of matching you in terms of being on the same scale financially. And sometimes men can accept, some men
Yes.
can accept the lady bringing in the bulk share into the home. But when she in some way tries to emasculate the man because of his contribution, at that point, these things cause conflict in
Agreed.
relationships. Because traditionally, it's always been the man as the breadwinner. And a man feels very, very emasculated when the role is reversed. So women sometimes have to use the level of psychology.
If they have it.
And you know, so because some persons, I mean, COVID just passed through, and a lot of people have been really trying to find their way after COVID.
Yeah.
Some persons came out of that hole a little bit faster than others.
True.
Some persons are coming out slowly, and it may have been situations where the man might have been a little bit more affected than the woman in the home and in the workplace. And some men, I mean, you've seen the situations where police had to go to many homes to quell situations of domestic violence.
Particularly in the pandemic.
And particularly in the pandemic season. So when a man's ego is affected and you have another person in the relationship rubbing it in your face, reminding you of what you can't do, of what you're unable to do at this point in time. His way of dealing with that is to strike out physically, which is, and I must say, I totally disagree with that.
Of course, yeah.
I totally disagree with that, right? We need to find a way to get back and communicate and come back on the same term. And I think one of the ways we could fight all the things that go wrong in the relationship is through love and mutual respect.
Agreed.
You know, because you have to remember, guys, when you want to get carried away, this is the woman that, I mean, she make what, 2-3 children, you let go on the lady already, and you, at some point, if even you're feeling different right now, you love this woman.
But do you think it has, a portion of it has to do with honesty, real raw honesty? We meet each other in a party, you look good, I look good, you tell me the right words, I find you cute, we decide to date. So we dating based on cuteness. And then we take the relationship to another level, so we start having sex.
Right.
But remember how we started, it was on cuteness. And at no point in time we having a conversation beyond cuteness. Then I end up pregnant, so now you're a daddy now, I'm a mama. According to tradition, we have to get married.
Right. And we ain't prepared.
We nowhere near prepared for the child, farmer, for the marriage. And then you frustrate yourself for years because you don't want to get divorced because the child growing up and the child in school, and then one child needs the next child, and then you end up in a position where you're in an uncomfortable situation, you're in an unhappy relationship, the two of us don't love each other, it just happen. But then we have a child looking at this unhappiness. We have a child looking at all the disconnect. And then that child now is withholding information based on what they see in daddy doing, because daddy ain't talking at all, because it reached boiling point. And that is what has been instilled in him. So he now becomes a young man, not knowing anything different but what he saw in the home. And that, for me, is one of the issues we're having with the millennials and the Gen Zs and these young people, very little examples. Although technology is moving at a rapid pace, we don't use it for the right reasons, as we said at the beginning. But one of the things that I know people have issues with, and I want to touch on it, you all behave when I say this, using sex as a bargaining tool.
Oh gosh. You ain't talk there, preach, girl.
Yeah. And it happens both sides.
If you behave yourself.
Yeah, but men do it as well.
Oh gosh, well, yeah, but because we learn from each other. You know, you might have seen it being done before, and you follow the pattern. Some young girls might have seen their mothers in action, and they pick it up. Yeah. Some boys or even the young girls might have seen their fathers, and they pick it up. You know, so children practice what they learn.
They live what they learn.
You know, but fellas, I mean, to the guys out there, I mean, we gotta do better. Don't just shift the responsibility to somebody else. Don't blame the person next to you. Don't blame your wife. Don't blame your girlfriend. Sometimes you have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, shape up, take responsibility. Mind your children.
Yeah, as for that.
Mind your children.
I want to say something in defense of the men. Women use children as a bargaining tool.
Well, that too. That too. But you as the father, you know, you have a level of responsibility. You have to do your part.
Agreed.
Don't just shake your seeds and then you move on. You're going to produce more problems.
Yes.
To produce more problems. And you just mentioned it, women stop using the children as bargaining tools, as pawns in the relationship.
Wow.
You know, things ain't working out right, you're not seeing your child. You're not seeing your child. Bring back the child now. He had the whole day. He had the weekend. Bring back the child. Bring back the child.
And I think they take advantage of the disadvantage of our legislative system.
Well, we need to do a lot of.
Well, that's a whole
lot of
new
work.
episode, but yeah.
A lot of work needs to be done in so many areas.
Because they use it, they know if we take this thing to court, it's taking however long, and in the meantime, in between time, you have an advantage.
You can make a jail.
Yeah, all these different things.
You can make a jail, and the guys know this because the police love to take you on a long weekend. You already made plans to go on zest, and they come and they pick you up the Friday, and you're coming out Tuesday. The ladies, and you know, a lot of police officers have said that they don't always like to get involved in domestic situations where the woman would come and report, and then after come and beg.
They do. They change their mind, but interestingly enough, when that occurs, you have to treat every situation like a fresh situation. Women will make a report, police will be ready to take action, then they remember that they're in love. Time pass. So, you know, I mean, Mark, we're wrapping up. You know, I can't even believe
We're wrapping up already?
Time flies.
But we not reach.
You understand what I'm saying?
We know start.
So I need you to take us out, give those men, those testosterone, and the ladies, give them some advice as we wrap this thing up.
I think we said we need to spread love, enjoy love a whole lot more. We need to respect each other. We need to be a little bit more honest about a number of things, and we need to communicate. We need to communicate a whole lot better. If you're not so good with communication, try to go and maybe talk to a granny, a grandpa, and somebody who's not thinking on the level of being old school too, because we're in a modern time right now.
Correct.
So the level of thinking has to evolve. And you have to use your biscuit to decide what is good from what is bad advice. So good advice, bad advice. Good advice, bad advice. Because somebody who you might have a lot of respect for can also give you bad advice.
Agreed.
You know, so use the biscuit between your two ears and make a good decision and say, all right, this making sense and it's not making sense, and show the person who means a lot to you, show them how much you care. Don't just wait for Christmas, man.
That was my guest, Mark Anthony. This was an amazing edition of A Woman's Worth. Thank you all so much for viewing. See you next time.
She's been called the Queen of Impact, Melody of Change, and the Rhythm of Empowerment. Wendy H. Lewis is her name.
Hi, this is yours truly, Wendy H. Lewis, and A Woman's Worth is coming to a community near you. Yes, you heard me correctly. I am coming to a community near you from this November 2023. My vision is to create change and impact lives, from advocacy to change, financial empowerment to entrepreneurship, health nuggets to career guidance, parenting, and so much more. Like our pages, follow me on social media, and I will be seeing you very soon.